Backward, turn backward, O time in thy flight, make me a boy again, just for tonight. As a high school kid in 1955, Kewanee native Bill Scott wanted nothing more than to play sports. His coach, about as diplomatic as Cruella de Vil, said,
he says, you're going to have to learn to accept one thing. He says, you're too small to be an athlete. You'll never be an athlete. Just learn to accept it.
So, Bill turned his hurt feelings to a sport of a different kind. His passion was motorcycles, and in 1959, he won the most coveted trophy in the world, first place in the 100-mile race on the beach at Daytona. On the 50th anniversary of that win, he and friend Denny Packey of Reman's Harley-Davidson went back to visit. They found the American Historic Vintage Motorcycle Racing Association staged a Daytona race every year. Bill thought of that rotten old coach and looked at Denny.
And I said, I think that I still have it. I could get into this. And so last fall, Denny says, let's get your KR out and do a restoration on it. So we were going to just restore it and then take it to Daytona to run in this, just in the Legends easy laps, just to go out there. And as it progressed along, then we decided that we'd get it ready to be competitive.
To make his old KR750 competitive again meant a frame-up restoration and lots of luck finding original parts, like magnetos and tachometer gears. It was, to mix metaphors, a full-court press at Reman's service department. With no guarantee at all, it would actually start up and run after 30 years in a basement.
See, you'll learn that you shouldn't be questioning them.
As the bike took shape, looking at last as it did in 1959, tension grew over whether it would actually run. A problem with spark, followed by a problem with cam timing, had the team on edge as the date came up quickly for the big trip to Daytona, Bill's end of the rainbow.
I think I just messed up.
With the time for his date with destiny running out, only one day before heading south, the team held its collective breath and hit the starter. And 51 years after hearing that sound on the beach at Daytona, Bill Scott was ready to go again. Next week, I'll take you to Florida with another postcard from home. Yours truly, Bob Jacobs. "51 years ago, before the McMansions and condos sprung up like malignant warts along the pristine dunes of Daytona Beach, iron men on two wheels rode like the wind, right here. Kewanee native Bill Scott was one of them. Having been told by his high school coach that he was too small to be an athlete, Bill set out on his Harley to make history, winning the 100-mile Daytona Beach race in 1959. This year, at age 71, he thought it might be fun to race at Daytona once again. He dragged his KR750 bike out of the basement and, with help from friends at Reman's Harley-Davidson, restored it like new and headed south. The American Historic Racing Motorcycle Association stages an annual race at the historic Daytona Speedway, and giving autographs as great men of racing were legends like Dave Aldana, Thad Wolf, Jay Springsteen, and yes, our Bill Scott. And then it was race day at the world's most fabled speedway. An electric March morning dawned as an omen of good fortune for Bill and his dream. The KR was sweet thunder to his ear. There was one practice lap before his long-awaited race. One lap around Daytona to try out a half-century-old machine and have a dream come true. A quick pit stop, a minor adjustment, then the last call for Bill's big event. As the pack headed for the high bank, Bill Scott's number 59 was nowhere to be seen. Back in the pits, the dream was coming to an end. The old magneto shredded a gear, and the KR was dead. Just as dead as an old man's hope of reliving a cherished victory at Daytona. Bike racing is not like other sports, however. If a fellow racer has trouble, the whole group rallies to help out. Barbara Connor from Lafayette, Louisiana said she had enough points to make her season, so she offered her bike to Bill. It wasn't the pristine KR750. It popped out of third gear and burned oil, but it was a Harley. So on day 2 at Daytona, when the field lined up to race, our Bill Scott was there. It wouldn't be back-to-back wins, 51 years apart, but racing at Daytona when you're 71 years old is a win in itself. And for the record, on a borrowed bike, Bill Scott came in second. And next year, at age 72, Bill Scott says he's going back again. With another postcard from home, yours truly, Bob Jacobs.